Hey guys, Master Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we did get soft confirmation yesterday that Super Vegeta is going to be the next Dokkan Fest that releases on Global. I actually missed this. I was kind of busy yesterday. I did do a video about the Fusions Awakenings, but I didn't see this until earlier today. So we're going to go over the Super Vegeta information and the celebration stuff. Obviously, this is a tweet from iSeriously. Somebody commented saying they were just waiting for him to tweet out a gif of Super Vegeta, because if you're not up to date with this kind of thing already, iSeriously is someone who is pretty consistent when it comes to accurate, like, I don't want to say leaks, but like letting us know what's coming next. I guess it is a leak, but he usually does this by posting a gif of the character, and he is right like 99 times out of 100. So the idea being from this original tweet that, you know, if you see iSeriously tweet out a gif of Super Vegeta, then you know Super Vegeta's next. And he responded to that by saying, here it is, and a gif of Super Vegeta. So if we have a look at the other things that we know, so this is Super Vegeta, of course, the Attained Evolution or Pure Saiyans, 130 to HP, 170 attack and defense, 3 key lead. Pure Saiyans finally getting a 170 lead obviously elevates them to being one of the best teams in the game, just because of the sheer roster of units that they have available to them. For me personally, if they're going to do the double 170 and 130 split for the leader skill, I would prefer that the 130 be for defense, so you get that little bit of extra HP. It can make a difference in harder events, especially, you know, like Extreme Super Battle Road when you're taking 200k from a super attack. Sometimes it's nicer to have an extra, like, you know, 50k HP. But Super Vegeta, leader skill, obviously very good. Attained Evolution is an okay category. There's a few interesting units in there that you can mix in with Pure Saiyans, because a lot of them are Pure Saiyans, which is then kind of pointless until the category gets its own standalone leader. But yeah, Super Vegeta is insanely good. I was super hyped waiting for him to come. I was hoping we would have got him before the end of last year, but obviously they decided to give us Scale and Caulifla first, because December pretty much always seems to be Tournament of Power themed on Global for some reason. But yeah, Super Vegeta does immense damage to the enemy with a guaranteed crit on his super attack. So people like definitely should not overlook this. It means even against an AGL enemy, it just doesn't matter. You're going to be doing big damage. He gets attack and defense 150. He gets an additional 50% when performing a super attack. Then he gets an additional 50% within the same turn after receiving an attack. So if he gets hit once in slot 1, he gets another 50% attack and defense. Now, obviously, he won't have gotten the buff from performing a super, so he's only going to have the base 150 attack and defense, but that's still pretty solid. I mean, with a support unit on rotation and links active, he's still going to have decent defense in slot 1. So he takes a hit, gets a buff, then he does a super, gets a buff, so he's going to be hitting some pretty crazy numbers with a guaranteed crit. He also stuns the attacked enemy when performing a super attack. Now, because this is a passive-based stun, it is only for one turn. But again, in something like Super Battle Road, you could pop a damage reduction item, put him in slot 1, and then you're guaranteed stunning somebody for that turn, as well as doing some big damage. And then he does have the active skill, I am Super Vegeta. I can't wait to see the global dub for this. I really hope they don't mess it up, because obviously you guys know, love Vegeta. Can be activated when HP is 50% or more, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, or when there is an enemy whose name includes Cell, after the character receives an attack 1 or more time. So obviously, for now, there's not a huge amount of events that you can activate this in. I think there's a couple of Super Battle Road stages, maybe, where he will be there. Obviously, in like Mono Super STR, you could get Cell and the Cell Juniors as the last fight. Otherwise, not really going to see this that often. At some point, you know, we finally got a Legendary Vegeta event. I imagine Frieza would probably be next, but we could always get a Legendary Cell event at some point, which would then obviously make this quite interesting. But otherwise, it's from turn 5, which means if you ever see it in Super Battle Road, it's probably just going to be as a finisher. And then in longer form events, you can kind of save it to finish off one of the stages, because it gives him 5 key and 50% attack for one turn. So you couple that in with all his other buffs. If you use this on a turn where you know you can take a hit in slot 1, so he's getting all of his buffs, and then he's getting this on top, like, he's going to be doing an insane amount of damage. And his link set is really, really good. Especially for other, like, Prodigies is the only one that doesn't really link him up super well with a lot of other Saiyans, and obviously Royal Lineage rather than Saiyan lineage, but like he's got a very, very strong link set. He's on a lot of good categories as well, so obviously this guy, very, very good. Now, even without the I seriously tweet of endorsement, we can see based on what Global has done in the past. So he released on the 30th of July on JP 2021. If we have a look at the physical Piccolo from the previous year, he released in July 2019. This is from 2 years ago actually, but this is the same time slot. And then he released in January. So let me pull up the July 2020 Dokkan Fest for JP. Okay, so the 2020 Dokkan Fest was actually Ultimate Gohan. Crazy that he's been out for so long. So he was the July Dokkan Fest for 2020 on JP. That was before the download celebration, and then he released on Global straight afterwards, which was really weird, and they'd never done that before. So him coming to Global when he did was a bit of a surprise. So he kind of is a bit of a wild card. So I guess, you know, you can't say now specifically because of the Piccolo situation that Vegeta makes sense for January, but this guy, like I say, he was a bit unusual for him to come out at that time. So I think we can use the Piccolo situation to kind of guess, along with the I seriously tweet. That's enough evidence for me, at least, that he's coming out in January. And it was very early January. Obviously, we haven't got a huge amount going on. There's the Step Up banner, the World Tournament that goes on over the first couple of days of the new year, and then it makes sense to lead straight into the next Dokkan Fest. So what are we going to get? So if we look at JP, July 2021, obviously we missed out on the end of the part of this celebration. We still do not have LR Janemba, but that's going to come up again very soon. So the start of the Vegeta celebration was here. We obviously got Super Vegeta. We got the Legendary Vegeta event, which for me personally is something I'm looking forward to. More content, more things to try out teams on, so obviously very excited for this. We get the STR second form Cell. I'll do detailed videos about the units a little bit more. I mean, we pretty much went over Vegeta's kit, but I'll do more of a detailed look into these guys when we talk about the banner right before it actually drops. We get easy A's for the Yardrat Goku and this 18. This Yardrat Goku becomes really, really good. Very, very strong. One of the better free-to-play units. This 18 definitely going to help out for people that are still struggling with Android's Extreme Super Battle Road. And so will the Cell, to be fair. And then it carried over into August before the download celebration. So we got a new Prime Battle LR, the Kid Gohan. Then we got easy A's for both of the Super Trunkses. This is the funny thing about Global being out of order with the schedule sometimes, is I've actually already link leveled the Super Trunkses, thinking that they would be up next. And then, of course, we've had to wait a little bit longer. But we get an Explosive Chain Battle versus Cell. Then we get the easy A for Majin Vegeta and a bunch of the Peppy Gals units, alongside a double race, as like the Rising Dragon Carnival banner, that introduced 2 new female units. I assume we'll still get this with this celebration as well. But this one's obviously not really tied to the Vegeta or like the Cell Saga theme in any way. So if Global was to change anything about this celebration, I could see this being delayed. But as long as we get the easy A Majin Vegeta, which should fit into this celebration, I don't see how they would separate this out of the celebration rather than this. Now, the reason I say they might change it around is, as you can see here, we then led straight into the download celebration, which was, of course, all the Namek-themed stuff. So Vegeta's celebration did not have a Part 2 LR. So, obviously, that's where they leave the door open for LR Janemba to potentially come in as the Part 2 LR for the Vegeta celebration. Because we're still missing him. He technically should have been the Part 2 from the Gogeta celebration, but obviously with everything going on with Heroes and all that kind of stuff, they kept him back a little bit. And then, yeah, I feel like it makes perfect sense for him to drop as the Part 2 LR with the Vegeta celebration, because then when we move into the next Dokkan Fest, we do have a Part 2 LR. So this seems like the perfect space for him to drop. Obviously, I'd be very happy if they did. He gets a lot of slander on the timeline. It's become like a really big meme. I don't know why. That like everybody just loves dissing on Janemba. I think maybe because like Truth hypes him up so much and people love to disagree with Truth, but I think he's a great unit. I really hope I pull him, because obviously being a yellow coin banner LR, there's no guarantee, even if you do like 1,000 stones, that you'll actually pull a copy of the new LR. But I really hope that I get him. I think he's really cool. Especially with like the release of Baby Janemba, the fact that Janembu is getting an awakening and an easy A. I've always thought Janemba was pretty cool, and I really like this unit, so I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully this comes as part 2. But like I said, what we should definitely get is the Easy A for Majin Vegeta. I'm really looking forward to him as well. He was the second LR I ever rainbowed. I was super hyped for him when he first released. His Easy A is a little bit underwhelming. He's definitely not on the LR Broly level, but he seems pretty good. I'll do more of a detailed video again about him in the future, but he has potential for being really strong in the future, because there's a lot of things in his passive, like he needs to have a Bulma on the team to get damage reduction, which is obviously a really useful effect, but he's not really on any teams that have a Bulma. So in the future, when the STR Vegeta and Bulma get an Easy A and become runnable again, that'll be a massive buff for this guy. He's on Corroded Body and Mind, so if they ever release like a baby Dokkan Fest celebration and release like a baby controlled Bulma as a support unit who's on Corroded Body and Mind, then that would be perfect. So this guy, he's not super crazy good, but he's still going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to him. I've already link leveled him ready as well. So yeah, going to be very interesting. But like I say, looks basically like the writing is on the wall. STR Super Vegeta is the next Dokkan Fest for Global, and there's a lot of fun and interesting stuff coming with it. A lot of people like to complain that banners are not content, so at least you lot will be happy that we are getting the legendary Vegeta event finally. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I will do a video talking about team building guides for that. I'll try and get that ready ahead of time so that as soon as Vegeta is confirmed, I'll get those guides out. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Super Vegeta? Are you more excited for the Legendary Vegeta event? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.